If everything ended tomorrow, every city, every photograph, every last memory of you, what would be left of us? No footprints in the sand, no data, no trace, nothing but absolute freezing silence. But the silence isn't total. More than 25 billion kilometers from here, further than anything our species has ever sent, something is still calling home. Every single day, in a whisper. It was built before the internet existed. It is falling through the dark at 61,000 kilometers an hour. And it's dying. It runs on a nuclear heart that loses 4 watts every single year. And somewhere at NASA, there is a list that decides what that costs. 10 instruments, 10 senses. 8 of them are already crossed off. I want to show you what is still on that list, who wrote it, and what happens when we reach the bottom of it. But first, Voyager 1 is not broken. Almost every part of it that matters still works perfectly. That is what makes this unbearable. It is not dying of failure, it is dying of cold. In February of 2026, Voyager 1 rolled over. A routine turn, one it has made hundreds of times to calibrate the instrument that fields magnetic fields. And as it turned, its power dipped. Not much. Just enough. Just enough that engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory realized the spacecraft was one bad moment away from protecting itself. Shutting down on its own, going quiet, forcing a rescue that might not work. So, on the 17th of April 2026, they crossed off Line 8. They sent a command across 25 billion kilometers and switched off one of its last remaining senses. An instrument that had been listening, almost without a pause, since 1977. Nearly 49 years. 2 lines left. It can feel magnetic fields. It can hear plasma waves. That is everything it has, and it does not know. Understand what a single line on that list costs. A radio signal moving at the speed of light takes about 23 hours to reach Voyager. You send an instruction. You wait a day for it to land. Then another day to find out what happened. Every conversation takes 2 days, and any one of them could be the last. Its transmitter puts out about 22 watts, the bulb inside your refrigerator, and that bulb has to shine across 25 billion kilometers of nothing. What reaches Earth carries less than a quadrillionth of a watt. We built radio dishes the size of ball fields on 3 continents for one reason: to hear it. There is something almost funny buried in this. The computer flying Voyager holds about 69 kilobytes of memory. A single photo on your phone is dozens of times larger than its entire brain. That is what we are switching off, one line at a time. So, who decides which sense dies next? You might assume Line 8 was crossed off in a hurry. A crisis, alarms, engineers scrambling, a decision made at 3 in the morning. It wasn't. Years ago, long before any of this became urgent, the engineers and the scientists sat down together in a room and agreed on the order. Which instrument goes first? Which one goes next? Which one is last? They wrote it down, then they went back to work and waited. There is a list. There has always been a list. It is the calmest document in the history of space exploration, and it is a hospice plan. Because the real enemy was never distance, it is temperature. Voyager steers using hydrazine, and hydrazine freezes at about 2 degrees Celsius. Out there, between the stars, the only warmth Voyager has is the heat leaking out of its own electronics. So every line they cross off buys exactly one thing: heat, a little more time. And if those fuel lines ever freeze, Voyager cannot turn its antenna toward us anymore. Not broken, not destroyed, just aimed the wrong way. Forever. Which is why, in the summer of 2026, they reached for the last trick they had. They called it the Big Bang, and it is beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Shut off the fuel line heaters completely. and switch on 3 other devices whose waste heat keeps the lines liquid instead. Take out the old organs and let something else do the breathing. They tested it on Voyager 2 first, because Voyager 2 is closer and has a little more power to spare. Voyager 1's turn came no earlier than July of 2026. If it worked, it bought about a year. If it worked, they might even switch that dead instrument back on. A resurrection 25 billion kilometers away. And then, when the year runs out, they cross line 8 off a second time. They would have to kill it twice. By the time you are watching this, you already know how it went. I don't, and that is the strange part. It barely changes the ending. If it failed, Voyager is already gone. If it worked, Voyager bought a year. 1 year, then the list moves on, then another year. The Big Bang was never a rescue, it was a postponement. Either way, the ending is the same, only the date changes. And think about what a year means here. Voyager was designed to last 5. It has been out there for nearly half a century. Some of the people who wrote that list are dead. Most of the people holding the pen now had not been born when it launched. In 2017, engineers fired a set of backup thrusters that had not been touched since 1980. 37 years cold, they lit on the first try. This machine has never once let us down, and we are the ones with the pen. Now think about where it actually is while we do this to it. Voyager 1 is moving at 61,000 kilometers an hour. It does not feel fast because there is nothing to pass. No landmarks, no wind, just a slow, silent fall through absolute cold. And it is going nowhere in particular. In about 40,000 years, it will drift within about 1.7 light-years of a dim star called Gliese 445. That is the closest Voyager will ever come to anything, ever again. 40,000 years for a near miss. It has also been blind this whole time. On Valentine's Day, 1990, Voyager turned around one last time and photographed the Earth from 6 billion kilometers away. A single pale blue dot, smaller than a pixel. Then the cameras were shut off to save power and they never came back on. That was the last thing Voyager ever saw. Us, small, getting smaller. For more than 3 decades since, it has been feeling its way through the dark. Alone, obedient, crossing off its own senses whenever we ask it to. And on the 18th of November, 2026, it crosses a line nothing from Earth has ever crossed. Voyager 1 becomes 1 full light day away. A whole day of light between us and the thing we made. So, 2 lines left. And then what? Here is what everyone assumes. They cross off the last line. The transmitter goes quiet. Voyager dies. A cold tombstone drifting in the dark. That is exactly backwards. It won't stop calling. There is every chance it keeps whispering long after we can no longer pull that whisper out of the noise. Engineers don't even know what will silence it first. Whether its fading nuclear heart will finally run out of power, its thrusters will lose their grip on Earth's direction, or its transmitter will simply wear out. Either way, it will not lose us. We will lose it. It will keep calling into a room where nobody is left listening. Because Voyager isn't dying at all. Out there is nothing to kill it. No wind, no water, no rust, no rot, no bacteria. When the sun swells up in 5 billion years and swallows this planet whole, Voyager will still be drifting. Intact. Bolt for bolt. And mounted on its side is a gold-plated record, still playable a billion years from now. Greetings in 55 languages, music, thunder, a mother kissing her child. 115 photographs of a world. Every city you have ever known will be dust. Every language you have ever heard. Everyone you love. And those photographs will still be out there, moving through the dark. which means that list is not what you think it is. 10 lines. It ends. Voyager doesn't. There is no line on that page for the death of Voyager 1 because Voyager 1 does not die. The list only ever described one thing: how much longer we get to listen. It is not a death schedule. It is a schedule for a goodbye. And we wrote it ourselves, years in advance, calmly in a room. The tragedy was never that Voyager ends. It is that we end and it doesn't. We are not losing a spacecraft. We are being left behind by one. Somewhere out there, right now, the last photons it will ever send us may already be in flight. 23 hours of travel still ahead of them. We won't know it was the last one until a day after it happened. And that record will still be out there saying the only thing we ever wanted to say. We were here. We were curious. And we did not want to be alone. Voyager isn't lonely. We're the ones about to be.